Hello happy people, Hamza here and welcome back to the channel. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a hotel booking website. And in this website, I am going to show you every step on how to create a homepage that looks just like this over here, whereby one can use this availability checker over here to check in for a specific room, or they can simply just come over down here and see the accommodation types that are available. I'll show you how to add services to this website and also have a separate services page just like this over here, where all your additional services are listed on your hotel booking website, and every service can be actually opened up in a single post type just like this over here. And I'll show you every way on how you can build up a perfectly customized single post type for your services page. And right here someone can actually navigate to the next services or to the next service that you have on your hotel website. I'll show you also how to create single page accommodations. Under the accommodations page, you see I have listed all the accommodations that are available. Actually, someone is able to navigate through the photos or the gallery of the specific accommodation and the details right over here, including the starting price of that specific accommodation. I'll show you also how to add all other accommodations, including using different other layouts. For example, this is the deluxe room, and having all these other details listed right down here on the accommodations page. And of course, when someone wants to see the individual accommodation post type over here, they can simply click on that accommodation, and of course it opens up over here. If they want to see the images of each and every accommodation or the different variations of the rooms of that specific accommodation, actually they can view that in a lightbox just like this, where it looks beautiful. And I'll take you through every step on how you can customize this page, add a scroll to top, create a header like this, including creating a footer just like this. And let me not forget that I'll show you also how to create a transparent header just like this. And all this will be using Elementor and Astra. On the other hand, I'll take you through on how you can manage your bookings. Under bookings, you can see the bookings that come in, you can edit the bookings, you can approve bookings, you can mark them as abandoned, cancelled, confirmed, or pending payments. You can see each and every booking details, the additional services that booking was made with, the person, the guest, and all their contact information right here. In the following video series, I'll also show you how to create coupons for your hotel booking website following up on this tutorial. And I'll also show you how to create taxes or even other fees that you would be charging your clients. And I'll also show you every step on how you can integrate your hotel booking website with payment gateways like PayPal, Stripe, and a lot more. That aside, I'll also show you how to integrate your hotel booking website with WooCommerce in separate video series that are going to follow up on this video. And I'll also show you how you can integrate your hotel booking website with other online travel agencies like Bookings.com, like TripAdvisor, like Airbnb, and a lot more, so that you don't actually get overbookings on your hotel website. I'll also take you through every step on how you can even use shortcodes on your hotel website by coming over here to accommodations and go to shortcodes. And of course, if you don't have Elementor or you're not considering using Elementor for this specific tutorial, these shortcodes will enable you to use them on your WordPress Gutenberg website. So in case you're interested into building a hotel booking website, I suggest that this tutorial is for you. And this tutorial doesn't require you to have any technical skills like programming skills, coding skills. No, I'll basically take you through every step by step on how to create a website, or basically a hotel booking website, without any technical skills. And you'll basically just have to follow through the tutorial and create everything by yourself. I'll also show you how to create a contact page just like this in case you have visitors on your website and maybe they have inquiries about your services or your hotel. I'll also show you how to add this specific contact page in this website. So I wish you the very best creating your first hotel booking website. And don't forget that I'm going to leave these same exact files I've used to create this tutorial for you to download and simply start creating your website using these same exact files, so that I don't start from scratch. They'll be available for download, and I'll be leaving all the links right down in the description box below. And all other videos that I'm going to be making as a follow-up on this tutorial, I'll be linking them right down in the description box below, like integrating with different payment gateways, like integrating also with WooCommerce and online travel agencies. I'll be leaving those tutorials right down in the description box below. Now, this hotel booking tutorial is an answer to my previous tutorial that I released a couple of months ago about how to create a hotel booking website using Elementor. However, Among the many questions that I received here in the comment section was if someone would actually integrate WooCommerce with the tools that we're using in the tutorial. Second was that if someone can actually integrate different other payment gateways like PayPal, Stripe, Brainstream, or even accept credit cards as a means of payment on this website. The other question was that if they can actually create the booking page, the checkout page, the terms page by following that tutorial. The other question was actually how to sync this hotel booking website tutorial that I had created with the online travel agencies like booking.com, Airbnb, and all those other platforms. The other question was like if they can actually use shortcodes within their website to actually come up with a couple of sections. The very last question that I saw was very common was that the theme or the template that I had used from Elementor was actually removed, and they wanted me to provide a couple of files of the whole tutorial for them to download. Now in this tutorial, I'm going to give an answer to all those questions. I'll show you every other step and respond to all those questions in the new tutorial, which is this over here. First off, I have to tell you that this tutorial will actually require you to buy a couple of plugins, unlike this other tutorial whereby I showed you how to create your hotel booking website using free tools. In this tutorial, we'll actually be using the paid tools, and that means that you'll have to spend some money to actually get the required tools to create your hotel booking website. I'll show you how to create headers like this, and this is all achieved using Elementor Pro, and how to also create footers of this kind, how to add your check availability form over here, and also your accommodations or rooms that you want people to book, also how to add other services or integrate extra services people can actually book with when they are booking their accommodations, and a couple of other services, including listing all the accommodations that are available in your hotel. Just like this is the standard room, and over here we have a gallery. Someone can easily navigate through the images, and of course here it has the details or the description of the room and how many people can actually fit in that room, or how many people should actually book that room, the size and the type of bed, and the starting price for that room. The next room is actually a twin room, and over here you have like the images for that room and the description and all this over right here. And of course other amenities that actually come along with the room can be listed over here, or can be also added right here on every other room. Now this can be like the general amenities that are available on all the other rooms, and here you can specify each of the room's amenities. Now on the other section, I will show you how to create a standard page or a single accommodation page, just like this for the standard room. And over here you can actually view the images of the room in a lightbox, and here you can see the availability calendar of that specific room, and down here you can book the room by feeding in the dates over here, or the date that you want to stay at that particular hotel, the number of adults, and actually you can check up for a specific room. For example, like when I click on check availability, at the same time, it will bring you on a specific perfectly designed page using Elementor, which is a search results page, and it will first of all recommend an accommodation for your search query, just like this over here, and based on the dates that you have entered, it will indicate for you the prices that you're going to spend. And this is actually a standard room, and over here it gives you the description of that kind of room. And of course the available accommodations at the moment, there are 6 of them, so it's up to you to decide. And the other rooms that you would actually book from this hotel would be a deluxe room or even a twin room, because they're all available. But the good thing is that this software is actually recommending a specific room on the search results. Now when you say reserve, this will take you on a booking page, and now this booking page you can decide how to customize or to design it, but basically the booking details should be there: the check-in date, the check-out date, the accommodation, the type of the accommodation, the number of adults and the children that are allowed to come along in that room, the guest name, and over here there is something very special: choose a rate. In this hotel booking tutorial, I'll show you how to create 2 different rates, a standard rate and a non-refundable rate. A non-refundable rate is a little bit lower compared to the standard rate, but that means that if someone cancels, we cannot refund the amount of money they had paid. But for the standard rate, it's a little bit more expensive, but of course here we can always refund some person's money once maybe they prefer to cancel the booking. And the additional services, these are the services that we have in our hotel. Now let me show you over here When I come over here to the services page, you realize that we have all these services: sightseeing, wedding, gym, we have massage, holiday package, city walk tour. Now these are the ones over here: city sightseeing, city walk tour, gym, massage, hotel. And all these services come with an added price that you have to pay separately from the accommodation. So if you select that you want all these services, well and good, that price will be added over right down there. For example, if I only choose the game drive and the city sightseeing, per day it will cost that amount of money. Now these days will be added to the number of days that you have actually chose over here in the check-in and check-out calendar. And if you have a coupon code, you can use it over here to maybe get a discount. I'll show you actually how to create coupon codes in this tutorial, so that you can also share them with your clients. And down here it will give you a price breakdown of how much someone is going to spend based on the dates. Now in this tutorial I created 3 different seasons that you actually bill on depending on the period throughout the year. For example, if it's winter season, summer season, or high-end season, the prices may differ. So that's why over here we have a price breakdown, and based on the season the price can change for a specific room per night. So down here it actually lists for you the price you're going to be paying per day or per night at that hotel. And over here it will also add the extra charges for each and every service that you requested. For example, the city sightseeing, every day it's 49, and for 32 nights, well, this is the amount of money you have to pay. For the game drive, every day you have to pay that amount, and for all these days you will have to pay this amount of money. And the services subtotal, you get this amount, and the subtotal for all, this is all over here. So if you had also added taxes in your settings, of course they will be also added over here, and you will be having to get the whole sum down here. And of course here someone has to enter in their contact details, phone, country of residence, notes, and boom, they can say book. Now when they book over here, you as a hotel owner or administrator, you can decide whether your clients will pay when they arrive at the hotel, or they can pay using Braintree or Stripe or PayPal. I'll show you every step on how to integrate your hotel booking website with any of those other payment platforms. And lastly, I'll show you how to create a contact form page just like this over here, so that your website visitors can easily reach out to you and ask you any questions, which you can after respond to through an email. So tighten your belt so that we can get started to create this hotel booking website, which has actually taken me some time to put together, so that I bring you a full pack of features and videos that you can easily follow on step by step until completion. I wish you well, and now let's get started. So to get started, we are going to come over here to our browser, create a new tab, and we will enter a domain localwp.com. That will bring you straight to this page over here, and basically we are going to download a local web development tool, or a software that we can use to build our website locally on our computer without even internet connection. And this will actually help you to build up your website completely, and then later on we can move our website to the internet. Just like over here, I've been building this website locally on my computer. So you simply have to click here on download, and once the software downloads, you install the software on your computer, and then you'll have something like this. So in your computer, you simply just search for local, and it looks just like this. So once you have it installed, it will give you an interface like this. And what we are going to do at the moment is simply say add new, and over here we'll add our new hotel. So our hotel is called Hotel 99. So I'll simply say continue, and I'll still continue, and over here I'll add in my username, and I'll also add in my password and an email, or the WordPress email. This is the email that will be the admin email for your WordPress website. So I'll simply just add in the email here. Okay, so I simply say add new site. Now this will do the hard work for you. That means that it will install for you the WordPress software on your computer, and that will enable us to start creating our website. It does all the hard work for you, like creating the database, creating the users, and giving you the login address. So once it is installed, your computer will prompt you to enter in the password for your computer, so that you can allow the installation of the software. Boom, now our WordPress software has been installed on our local computer. Now that means that if we come over here to the view site on Hotel 99, you realize that we have already a WordPress installed. Now this is the default website or the default theme that is installed once you have your WordPress website or once you have WordPress installed on your computer. Now when we come back here to local by Flywheel, we have another button called admin. This enables you to access the back end of your website, and what we are simply going to do is simply add in our username and also enter in our password, and we simply say enter. So now we have logged into the back end of our website. Of course, this is the website we have just installed with WordPress. At the moment, we have everything at default. When we come over here to plugins, you realize that we don't have any plugin. And when you come over here to themes, you realize that we have the default themes from WordPress once you install WordPress. Now, this website is different from that website before. This is Hotel 99 and this is Hotel 94. But we're basically going to rebuild everything to look just like this website over here. Now what I'm going to do is simply to close up this tab, and then I will close up this other tab that I don't need. So I only leave the tabs that I need at the moment. So I have our new WordPress installation, and then also our homepage for the new website for Hotel 99, and then the website that we are recreating at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to simply come back here to manage, and I'm going to come over here to themes, and I'm going to say add a new theme. We are going to add one of my favorite themes called Astra, and this is the theme that we'll be using to build up our WordPress website. A theme basically gives you a skeleton of how your website is going to look like in the end, and Astra being one of the most popular WordPress themes, it has a number of amazing features and functionalities that we can use in our WordPress website, like I'm going to be showing you in this tutorial. Now once this theme is installed, you simply activate the theme, and now when I open this in a new tab, you're going to see that there are some changes. You see, this is the website now after installing Astra theme, and this is the website before we installed the Astra theme. Now I no longer need this. We are going to move on with this over here. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to add other tools, and those are going to be plugins. So we're going to come over here to add a new plugin. In this tutorial for the hotel booking website, we are going to use the MotoPress plugin, and this is going to be the pro version of MotoPress. So next, what we are going to do is simply come over here to a new tab, and we are going to go to gotechug/mp, and that URL will basically take you to Template Monster, whereby you are able to download MotoPress hotel booking plugin. Once you purchase it over here, you'll be able to download it on your computer. Once you have it downloaded on your computer, simply come back here to your dashboard, and you're going to say upload, and simply choose a file. And of course, you have to navigate where the file is. Then you simply install. Once it is installed, you simply now activate the plugin. Now we have the main plugin that we need to use in our hotel booking website. Next, what we're going to do is simply just scroll just here up, and you see now you have a notification called hotel booking plugin. The booking confirmation and search pages are required to handle bookings. Press install pages to install these pages, because we need these pages when we are going to run our hotel booking website. So what we'll do at the moment is to install these pages. And now when we go back to our website, go to pages, all pages, you realize now we have a number of pages right here in our website. Remember, this page and this page are installed by default once you install WordPress. Now these other pages are imported once we install the instant pages from MotoPress. Next, what we are going to do is now we have to create our homepage, and we have to create a menu. So we are going to come over here to pages, and we are going to add a new page. And this page title is going to be home. I simply publish the page, and then I publish it. Now I'm going to exit, and still under pages, we are still lacking one more page, and this is going to be the services page, and another page that we will have to create is going to be the contact page, just like here on our final website, the services page and the contact page. So by coming back here to our pages, we are going to create another page. So services and publish that page, and again we are going to add another page. So add a new page, say contact page. So publish and publish. We'll head back to our dashboard and we are going to come straight here to settings, and then we go to reading settings. So under reading settings, we are going to set a static page for our home page. So we select here static page, and we select the home page as our static page. So we select that page, and okay, we are good to go. We save changes. Now that means that on our home page, instead of having posts as our default type of content on our home page, we will have a static page. Now when I reload this page, which is our home page, you realize that now we have a home page notification or kind of title. Next thing that we're going to do is now we are going to go to our menus, appearance, menus. Now here we will have to create a menu for our website. See, when you look over here, we have something made up by Astra in our header. But what we need to do at the moment, we need to create a custom navigation just like this for our website. So I'm going to come back here to menus. I'm going to create a menu, and this menu is going to be our main menu. I'll create the menu, and then I come over here to pages, and I'll add the pages that I want to appear in our menu. One will be a contact page, a services page, and an accommodations page. I add them to the menu. The last one should be a home page. So when I come to view all, I have to select the home page and I add it to our menu. Now what I can do is now reorganize these pages. So I simply just click and drag one of the item, contact, I drag it down, and the other, which is accommodation, I simply just drag it up, just to have this kind of order in our main website. So what I'm going to do is simply choose the menu location here, which is the primary menu, and then I save. Once I save, now this is going to show up as our primary menu in our website. When I come back here to the home page, I reload this home page, you realize that now we have the menu that we just set up. Now next thing that we're going to do is to start creating sections of our website. For example, we want to create a custom header that will look something like this, transparent, having a logo and our navigation, and also add a footer to our website, just like this. What you need to know is that these elements or these sections are made up by Elementor. And basically what we need to do is to have the version of Elementor which enables us to have custom headers just like this and custom footers just like this in your WordPress website, and that will require you to have Elementor Pro. So what you need to do is now open a new tab and enter in gotechug/Elementor. This will take you straight to the Elementor pricing page, whereby you are in position to get a license either for 1 site, 3 sites, or 1000 websites. These all have the same features, 50+ pro widgets, templates, and a theme builder, but what changes is basically for the number of sites you can use that license for. So depending on what license you want, you can simply get your license over here and you're good to go. So what I'm going to do is, once you are done purchasing your Pro Elementor version, you're going to come back here to your website in the dashboard, and you're going to go to plugins, and we're going to add a new plugin. And what I'm going to do is simply upload the plugin that you just downloaded. So I'll install my Elementor Pro, and I'll activate my Elementor Pro plugin. So one thing you have to note is that if you want to use Elementor Pro, you should also have the Elementor free version so that Elementor Pro can work perfectly well. So we will have to simply come up here and we simply click install Elementor now. Now this will install for us the free version of Elementor. So we simply now activate the plugin. Okay, now we have our Pro version of Elementor and the free version of Elementor installed in our website. When we come here to plugins, all plugins, you realize that we have Elementor and Elementor Pro. So what we're going to do is now we're going to activate our license by clicking over here on connect and activate, or you simply just come over here to connect and activate. So I'll simply go to connect and activate. This will prompt you to log into your Elementor account and activate your Elementor license. Okay, so I'll simply activate. So once it is activated, of course here it will show you that it is active, and now we are good to get started. So what we have to do is simply come over here to Elementor templates, and we come over here to theme builder, and right here we will be able to start creating the headers and the footers. So we can say add a new, and here we'll select a header and we simply say create template. And boom, here it will show us a number of amazing pro templates that we can use in our header. And just like this over here, I created this header and I used some template. So I'm going to simply come over here, look up for that template. Simply this over here, I'll say insert, or it can be any other template that you want to use. Boom, we have our template now imported right there. So what I did was simply delete this last column. And then over here, I had to choose a logo for my WordPress website. So how do you choose a logo, or how do you create a logo for your WordPress website? So you're simply going to come over here to a new tab and you're going to enter in gotechug/CV. This URL directly takes you to a website called Canva that enables you to create a number of amazing artworks from logos, posters, banners, flyers, and a lot more. So what you're going to do is simply sign up. After sign up, you can log in. Of course, you can get started using Canva for free, create a logo, and now that will prompt you to start creating a logo. Now, if you want to see my tutorial on how to create a logo using Canva, check out the link right in the description box below on how you can create your first logo using Canva. Once you are done creating your logo by following the tutorial, then you can simply come back over here to your Elementor editor and you can come over here, edit the logo, and you can upload the logo that you have just created using Canva. And you simply browse over here the logo and you bring it over here to your WordPress media library, and then you can use it in your header. But at the moment, I'm not going to use a graphic logo for myself. I'm simply going to delete this. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab this as a site title widget, and I'm going to use a site title which is Hotel 99. So I'm going to edit this by clicking over here on the editor icon, come over here to style, and I'm going to change the text color to actually white because I want it to be white since I'm going to use it on a transparent background. But also I'm going to change the typography to another font which is called Montserrat. So since now I'm doing some edits, so maybe turning it to white is not the best alternative for now, but I'll first leave it in color so that I can simply see what I'm doing. Then the other thing is come over here to our side of the header. You can do a couple of things. For example, you can reduce on the spacings, you can change the hover colors, and a lot more. But later on, we're going to change the color of our menu and the header so that it is basically color white over here. So when we come back here to our editor, we're going to simply publish this header, add a display condition. We want it to display on the entire website, and save and close. But before we actually also exit this dashboard, I want to show you that actually this header is going to be responsive on different devices, for example the tablet and the mobile. And we can also choose a different breakpoint for the tablet. For example, over right here, we want that when someone is on a tablet, they should see our navigation as a hamburger icon. So when I come over here to our desktop preview, I'm going to just come over here to mobile drop down, and the breakpoint we're going to choose it to be on a tablet. So when we come back here to the tablet option, you see that now we have our breakpoint showing on a tablet device, just like over right here. So you can come back over here and we simply update. Once you update and now we preview our website, you will see that now we have our new header created for our website. Okay, next what we are going to do is simply close this over here and we are going to exit to the dashboard. Now what we are going to do next is to create our footer for our WordPress website. So to create a footer for your WordPress website, you're going to simply come back here to your Elementor, come here to templates, and then we go back to theme builder, and we're going to add a new, or we can simply just come over here to footer and we can say create a new footer, and we simply say create a template. And over here we can choose from a number of other amazing footer templates that we have created by Elementor. See all these over here. You can simply choose from any of those templates. But at the moment, I'm not going to use any Elementor templates for the footer because the template I'm actually using for our footer is from Envato. So I'm going to show you how to get this kind of template to use in your Elementor footer. So when we close over this, I'm going to exit the footer template and I'm going to come over here to plugins, add a new plugin, and I'm going to search over here for a plugin called Elementor Elements. The Elementor plugin comes with a number of bundled and pretty well designed Elementor templates that you can use from blog sections and even full page templates that you can use in your Elementor designs. So once it shows up over here, at the moment it has over 200,000 active installations. Simply install. Once it is installed, simply activate. And after activation, what we need to do is now to connect our Elementor Elements plugin to our Elementor Elements account. You can simply create a free account on Elementor Elements or on Elementor. So you simply come over here to Elementor, and we are going to connect our email to our Elementor account. And then you have also to agree to the terms of Elementor. Boom, now our Elementor plugin has been connected to the Elementor account, which is free actually to get started. So here they list for you the premium templates that you can use, and down here they also list for you the free templates that you can use in your Elementor website. That aside, there are also blocks and sections that you can use in your Elementor website, from hero sections, contact boxes, pricing sections, image galleries, featured products, single product, footers, and headers. So I'm going to come over here to the Elementor icon. I'll just come over here down to the free templates by Elementor, come to page 4, and I'm going to simply select my homepage template that I want to use, and it's going to be the hotel booking template, which is over here, hotels and accommodations. And I'm going to select the villa template for my homepage, and I'll import this template. Okay, so I'm going to open this template in the template library. So I have this template right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do at the moment is, first of all, is going to copy our footer, which is this footer right here. I'm going to copy this footer. I'm going to come back to our pages. I'm going to come right down here to the templates, campaign builder. I'll open it up in a new tab. I'm going to come to the footer section and I'll edit with Elementor. And I'm going to simply just come over here and say paste, and boom, this is going to paste our footer. Now this means that we have created a footer for our WordPress website. If you want to create it from scratch, you simply come over here, add a new section, and you can add a number of elements, widgets to this section to basically create your footer. You can add columns and another column, and you can add a number of other widgets, for example, maybe the map widget. You can add several other widgets, maybe like the text editor, and that's how you can create your footer. But in this case, I'm going to use this pre-made footer over right here. You can make changes to the text, for example, this text over here. You can make changes anywhere on this footer. Okay, now we have created our footer. We are going to publish our footer, add a condition. We want it to appear on the entire website, or according to our website that we created earlier on. When I go to the services page, you realize it has a footer. When I go to the accommodations page, you realize that it too has a footer. But when I go to the single accommodations, you realize that they don't have a footer appearing. So how can we do that? So under here, we can say add a new rule, add a condition, and we can say exclude singular. And under singular, we can say we want to exclude all accommodation types. Okay, so that means that all accommodation pages or single accommodation pages will not have footers, or will not have that kind of footer. So we save and close. Boom, now we have a footer on our WordPress website. Now when we come over here to our home page, we simply reload this. You're going to see that now we have a footer for our website and basically on the home page. Now let's go back to our editor. We are going to exit this section, or we are going to exit the footer, and I'm going to come straight to pages, all pages, and I'm going to open up my home page with Elementor, and I'm going to come over here to the folder icon. I'm going to come to my templates. once we are in the templates library over here, we should see our home template that we imported here, but at the moment it's not appearing because right under here we did not save our template to appear in the templates. So I'm going to come over here to my template. I'm going to save as a template, and I'll just name this to be home template, and I'll save this template. Once I save, now it's appearing in my templates library. I'm going to close this over. I'll come back to my pages. I'm going to go to the home page and I'll edit it with Elementor. I'm going to come to the folder icon, come to my templates, and now we have a template for the home. I'm going to insert that template. I'll say override the page settings. Boom, our homepage template is added. I'm going to come over here to the settings, and I'm going to come over here to the page layout. I'm going to switch this to Elementor full width from Elementor canvas so that it will display our header and it will also display our footer. Boom, there we go. I'm going to simply update. Now when I come over here to our home page, realize before it was only showing the header and it was showing the footer. So when I reload this, boom, now you realize that we have this template on our home page, okay, including the footer that we created for our website. Now remember that this template had come with a footer, but now we have set that our footer is going to appear on the entire website. So I'm going to come back here to our homepage template. I'll scroll down here and I'll delete this footer right here, and I'll simply update. Now when I update, I simply reload this. So when we look over here on our homepage, scrolling down, everything now looks fine. The second footer is gone, and by looking on now our footer, we have this white space down here. So I'm basically going to remove this so that this widget or this section is fitting exactly at the bottom. So I'm going to come back here to our dashboard. I'm going to come here to the templates theme builder. I'm going to open my footer with Elementor. I'm going to select the whole footer section, and I think this is something to do with the padding. So I'm going to come here to the advanced section and I check over here the padding. The top is having a pixel of 80 and bottom is having a pixel of 80. So when I remove the bottom pixel settings, you see it is now back to the normal padding, or it is having 0 pixels in the bottom. Now we are having this space here, the edges of the column. So I'm going to come over here to the layout. I'm going to come over here to column gap, and I'm going to say no gap. So now you notice now that space is not right there. So I'm simply now going to update. When I update, let me come over here. I preview my home page. Boom, now we have our footer correctly fixed without the spacing down below. The other space that we would remove is the space on top over here, which is also 80. So we're going to basically make this 0, and I simply update so that if we want to add more space anywhere on these sections on the home page, either here, we can simply just make changes on that specific section than having the space in the footer section. Okay, now that looks to be done. Next, we're going to create our accommodations, and then we will start customizing every section or every page using Elementor after we are done creating our accommodations for our website. So now when you come here to our website and you click on the accommodations, here we get a list of the available accommodations people can book on our hotel. Okay, and then later on, someone is actually able to open up one of the accommodations and they can view the accommodations page. This is for the twin room, and they are able to see all these details about the room, check the availability, or even see which days this room is actually free for booking, and someone can reserve this room by checking in, and of course they can book the room. So we are now going to create this kind of accommodations on our website. So to create this, we're going to come back here to our dashboard. We're going to come over here to the accommodations tab. This tab and the bookings tab is brought by MotoPress, the plugin that we installed. So when you click over here, we're going to start with the settings option, which is down here. And this basically helps us assign which pages will help us in what way and what should work where. Okay, so for example, the search results should use the search results page, and the checkout page should use the bookings page. And how do these options happen to select these specific pages? Remember, these are the pages that we automatically or we installed after installing the plugin. If you're not seeing that section, please head back to the video exactly where we were installing MotoPress plugin. Now, these pages can be chosen. For example, if you want to use a separate page for the checkout, you can come over here and then choose a separate page for the checkout. But I simply want to leave this at default. And for the terms and conditions page, you can also come over here. If you have created the terms and conditions page, then you can simply do that. Now, for example, let me show you by going back to our pages, all pages. We have a page down here called a privacy policy. Okay, so we can edit this page and we can rename this page as terms and privacy, and then we delete this. And you can also add your terms into this page and the privacy policy of your website or your hotel in this specific page. And what you simply have to do is now publish and publish. And now we go back to our dashboard. We're going to come over right here to accommodations, come to settings, and under settings we come back to the terms and conditions, and we're going to come and select our terms and privacy page. Okay, so now that's how you can select a specific page to be used under a specific section on this hotel website. And then now, how do people confirm their bookings? They can confirm by email, by admin manually, or by confirmation upon payment. For now, we're going to leave it at confirm via email. Booking confirm page, of course, here they should be pointed to the booking confirm page. And the approval time for a user, it can take them 20 minutes. You can adjust this to what you want. Country of residence field is required for reservation, or you can say full address, or you can actually select all these options over here, depending on what you want to collect from your user. Default country on checkout, I'll select my country, which is Uganda. It may be another country for yourself. The price breakdown, this is what happens when someone is going to book. For example, let me take you to the room. This is the twin room, and then I say I want to check in between the 12th and let me say the 15th. I'm only one adult, and I see the availability of this room. Of course, they are suggesting me the standard room because it can also be used by a single person, but let me just book this one, confirm reservation. Now, this is what they mean by the price breakdown. See, when I click on this room, it is going to break for me down, the price for the different dates when I'm going to sleep in this room. Okay, this. So what they mean here by price breakdown unfolded by default means that this price breakdown here will be unfolded by default when this page loads, but now it is folded. And then down here, I'm going to leave it just as it is. And then down here on booking cancellations, we can prompt the user to cancel the booking via a provided link inside the email. This is very important. It is actually one of the most questions were asked in the previous emails, if a user can actually cancel their booking. And actually the booking cancellation page will be the booking cancellation page just as imported using MotoPress. For the search options, here we can select the maximum accommodation occupancy available in the search form. For example, maximum number of adults one of our rooms can take in 30. Maximum amount of kids or children is 10. And the age of the kids will be 6 to 12 years. This appears right here on the booking page or the booking confirmation page, but also I made sure that it appears on the search widget, which is just right here, so that it gives someone an idea of who a kid is defined at your hotel. Okay, and down here the skip search results, you can say skip search results page and enable direct booking from accommodations page. Yeah, you can enable this if that is what you want. There is also an option for the guest management, enable adults and children options for my website. That is the default option, but you can as well use any of these other options right down below here. And then on the other section, the units or the square units. So our rooms are measured in square meters, and the currency is US dollars. The position of the currency icon is before, and then the date picker format is date, month, and year. The checkout time for the hotel, you can say it is 10, that is in the morning, and then check-in time is 11 in the morning. And then bed types, here I can create the kind of beds we have in our hotel. So I can say single bed, and then I can say there is king size bed, and then I can create another full double bed, or basically a double bed. Okay, so we have those three types of beds. Here they say lowest price of accommodation for selected number of days if check-in and check-out dates are not set. For example, 0 to display today's lowest price. Set 7 to display the lowest price in the next week. So you can maybe just say 0 to display the lowest price for today. You can enable that based on what you want. You can also enable the use of coupons. I'll also show you how to use this option later on in this tutorial, but for now I'll leave it enabled. And then the template mode, choose a theme mode to display the content with styles of your theme. So here I will just leave it to be the theme mode. And then the text on the checkout, this is the text that appears when someone is going to make the payment. Let me just come over here. I just go back to the booking confirmation. This is the message they're talking about over here. So I can just simply copy this message, come over here, and I paste that same very message. Or you can customize that message and basically communicate to your clients what you want them to know at the checkout page. You can disable bookings in case you don't want anyone to make any further bookings, or maybe an organization came up and booked the whole of your hotel. So that means there won't be any other rooms for other people to stay. So you can disable the bookings. And then the text inside of the reservation form while booking is disabled. So you can enable that over right here, or you can add that text over there. And then right down here, we have the option for the theme calendar. So I'm going to use one theme over here, which is minimal orange. Yeah, this is what I want. This basically depicts how our calendar is going to look like, and also our theme colors that we chose to use. So this is the calendar theme that I'm using, which is minimal orange. Okay, that's it. And then under here on calendar synchronization scheduler, you can enable automatic external calendar synchronization. Now this is the part whereby once you start integrating your hotel website with the online travel agencies like Airbnb, bookings.com, you can enable this feature here so that your website is automatically updated, and even the other websites are also updated once any of the platforms receives a booking, and now that means that you will not get overbooking on your hotel. Okay, now what I need to do is simply save changes for my settings. The other options for the emails or customizing our emails, the admin emails, email settings, and payment gateways. Payment gateways is basically how your hotel will receive payments. We'll come and set up this later on in this tutorial. Next, what we are going to do is now to come over right here, and we're going to start creating our amenities. So in this section, I'm going to show you how to create amenities for your hotel website. Now, the amenities option is under accommodations. You go to amenities. The amenities look just like this. For example, this is the twin room, and down here it shows the list of amenities that come with this specific room. For example, the 24-hour room service, air conditioning, complimentary newspaper, a dressing table, flat screen TV, and all these options. So how do we add those so that they can appear on our single rooms? I simply just come over here, and here I will simply just add my amenity list. For example, the 24-hour room service, I simply add here a description. So I'll simply just get here some dummy text to use. I paste that over here. I add the amenity. Can come over here, get another amenity, air conditioning. I can add a description for that amenity. I'll add another amenity, mini bar. I add a description. I create the amenity. Can add a flat screen TV, describe the amenity, create the amenity. So I can add another workplace and wireless internet access. And for now, those are enough. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is to create services. So how do the services look like? You see, when you come over here to your final booking page, you see these services listed over here, which are additional services, and they can have a separate charge, or they have a separate charge based on the room you have booked, or based on how long your trip is going to be. For example, the city sightseeing, city walk, the gym, which is priced once you book into the hotel, or if you want to go for a game drive, you'll be charged $150 per day. And over here you can choose the number of guests that want to actually get, or how many of you are willing to pay for this service once you book the hotel. Okay, now how do these additional services appear on our website? When I go on our final website and we come here to services, you realize that we have these services listed over right here. For example, the city sightseeing starting at $149 per day per guest. This is the same that appears over here, city sightseeing, $149 per day. Now if you have 4 guests, automatically the price is going to add up right down in the price breakdown. Okay, now how do we start creating that? We come back to our dashboard and we're going to go to services. So under services, we can say create a new service, and I'm going to simply name this service city sightseeing, and then I'll add a description for that service. And I don't want to allow comments on that specific service. When you allow comments, that means that when someone clicks on any of these services, for example, a wedding service, down here below, people will have the option actually to add comments on the specific service. I don't want to collect any comments. So city sightseeing, the price for this service goes for $149 per day per guest. So I can say 149. It is per day and it is per guest. And then I can add a featured image for this service, which is city sightseeing. I simply just come over here to our upload files, and of course you have to navigate to the area where your photos are. Let me say this is the one, and I simply just add that as a featured image for the city sightseeing. Now I am done adding details for this specific service. I simply publish, and then I'm going to add a new service. This service is called gym. I'll add the description. We will disable the comments, and we are going to give that price $49, paid once per accommodation. I'll add a featured image, come back here, browse for a gym picture, upload, set the featured image, and I simply publish. Next service I'm going to add is massage. I'm going to add a description, and the price is actually $49 per day per guest. I'll add a featured image for our massage services, which is that one there. I'll set as a featured image and I'll publish. I'll add another service, which is a game drive. I'll add the description, I'll disable this, and I'll add the price. The price would be $50, or it can be $49 per day, and that will be per guest. I'll add a featured image, and I publish. Now that means that we will have added services to our website. Now when I come over here to services, automatically it will list all the services that we have for our website. Maybe you have a question, why have we had to first create amenities and services before we actually create the actual accommodations of our rooms? The reason behind that is that all these services or even amenities will be actually added on the specific accommodation. When we are creating the accommodation, we'll simply just select from a list and we add the services or even add the amenities that we want to avail our client who is booking the accommodation. Now what we are going to do next is to create an accommodation. So to create an accommodation, you can either just come over here to accommodations or simply just say add an accommodation, and this accommodation is called standard room. So for the standard room, we are going to add a description for that room. We are going to add an excerpt. This is the mini description that someone actually reads before they open up the full page or the single post type for the accommodation itself. For example, when you look over here, this is kind of the first description they get, and later on when they go to view their details, they'll get access to the full description of the room itself. Okay, so I'm simply just going to get this copy here, and I'll add it over here to our excerpt section. So now we have our accommodation published. Let's have a look at how it looks at the moment. So by clicking on preview changes, this is how our standard room looks like at the moment. It has the room details. It is only available for 1 adult, but we can do a little bit more for this room. For example, like adding services, amenities, adding a gallery and all that. We've created our standard room, added a description for the room, and we need now to add a number of other things. We can generate accommodations by adding here the number of accommodations that are available, and we can add the maximum occupancy, for example 1 adult and maybe 2 children, and the size of this room is maybe 21 square meters, and the view, it has a swimming pool view for our standard room, and the bed type, it has a single bed, and the services available, someone can book all these services with their accommodation. And right here we can add amenities that are available for this specific room, and then we can also add a photo gallery for this room. So these are the images, this and that for this specific room, and then you can add a featured image for this room specifically, which is a standard room. And what I'm going to do is simply update. When I update, I'm going to come back here to our preview section and preview our page, and now we have a featured image for our room, the title, the description, and a gallery for our standard room. See how that looks like. And then the details down here, it can accommodate 1 adult, 2 children, and then these are the amenities. It has a swimming pool view, and the size is 21 square meters, and it has a single type of bed, and the availability. This shows which dates this room can be booked exactly. But since this room has a swimming pool view, actually we should have a swimming pool in one of the images. So I'm going to come over here to our photo gallery. I'm going to come back here to upload files, and I'm going to look up for an image that has a swimming pool, something of that sort, and we'll add this to our gallery, and we simply update. So when we update, we are going to come here to preview changes, and now we'll see that in our images we have a swimming pool picture. Next, we are going to create other accommodation types by coming back here to the accommodation and create a new accommodation type. This is going to be a deluxe room. I'll add the excerpt section, and I'll simply just change this. This can be any copy that your hotel comes up with, and I'll simply just get here some dummy copy, and over here I'll select the amenities that come along with this room, and I can simply disable a comment. Then here I'll add the number of rooms that are available in the deluxe category, how many adults this room can take in, 2 adults and maybe 4 children. The size of this room is 34 square meters, and it has actually an ocean view, and the bed type is basically a double bed. Other services someone can book with this room, and under here of course we can choose a type of amenities like we have done already. We can add a featured image for our deluxe room. I'll come to upload, and I'll simply just come over here, select pictures for my deluxe room. So I'll just come over here, and then I choose pictures. I'll choose of course the featured image, and then I'll come to the photo gallery, look up for the images I can use on my deluxe room, something of that sort. And since it has an ocean view, I'll also add the ocean image over there, and I create our photo gallery. What I simply now need to do is to publish the room, and we can preview our post. Okay, I'll have our featured image and then our room pictures, which also have a light box. Okay, and then down here it can accommodate 2 adults, 4 children, these amenities, and an availability calendar. Now that is done, we're going to create another one, which is our twin room. I add our copy text. So I'll also add our exact section or exact copy. I'll add amenities for this room. I'll disable comments. I'll add a number of rooms that are available in the twin section. Number of adults can go 4 of them. Children, they can also be 6. And the size is 42 square meters. The view, it actually has an ocean view, and the bed type is actually a king size bed. The available services someone can book with this hotel are these. And down here we can add our featured image for the twin room. So I'll just come over here, grab our images for the twin room. So maybe we have that image, and we have this over here. So we have our featured image for the twin room, and then we can add the gallery for that specific room. Okay, I'll randomly pick pictures over here to use. And that's all. So we can add or create our gallery for our twin room, and I'll publish and preview our room, which is this over here. And then these are the images in case someone is booking that room and all that. You now perfectly get the idea on where we are heading. Now we have created our rooms, we have created services and amenities. Next we are going to do is to create seasons. Now the beauty with the MotoPress plugin is that it gives you the possibility to create high seasons, low seasons, or even some of those special seasons whereby you offer a different price for your accommodations or even services based on a season. How that looks like, for example, when we come over here to our rooms and you look over right here, the rate, there is a season that is called the standard season, and this standard season can have like options whereby if someone books a room based on a certain range of the dates of the year, they'll get a different price for that specific room based on what time of the year they're actually booking. And the good thing, you can even create different kinds of seasons or even non-refundable costs based on what the client chooses. Now we're going to see that in the next section. See you there. So we have created our accommodations over here, the twin room, the deluxe room, the standard room, and occupancy is described over here, the types of bed and the amount of people or the number of people that can go into that specific room. We have created our services or services that can be booked together with a room when someone is actually booking the accommodation. And we have also added the amenities that come along with the rooms or the different rooms that are available in our hotel. Now we are going to create the seasons. So we are going to simply come back here to accommodations and then seasons. Seasons will help us determine how we will price the different phases of our business here. For example, we may have a season of the winter season, summer season, and a flat all year round season. For example, I'll say add a new season, and I'll say all year round, and it starts from January to the very end of the year, should be December. And the prices for this season will be the same all way out the whole week. So you simply click on the first one and control click the last one, and that means you'll have selected all of them. Then I publish the first season, I'm going to create another season, and this is going to be summer. Now we will add the dates for when our summer starts, or when we start building prices for the summer. So it will say starting from June, and then I will say it goes until end of August. Okay, and the prices will actually apply on the whole week around. So I publish. So now we have 2 seasons for our hotel. Next, what we are going to do is now to create the rates for the different rooms and the seasons. So we are going to come over here to rates, and we are going to create a rate, and here we are going to say this is the standard rate, and the accommodation type we are going to select the standard room, and here I can add a description of the rates here. These are rates for standard prices all year round. Okay, so I simply create. After creating this, then I can now start adding a season price. For example, when I add a new, here I can select which kind of season do I want to add the price, or the respective price. So I'll say that all year round, and here I'll say the price per night for this room, let me say it's going to be 39, and I can enable variable pricing. For example, if this person is coming 1 kid, for example, if it's 1 adult and 1 kid, the price per night will be maybe 49. Okay, and if this person is coming, him or the mother and 2 kids, we may say the price is going to be 59. So that is the other bit of the variable pricing. Now I can simply update. Don't forget that now this is the price for the flat rate for all year round. Let me add another pricing for another season. Now when here I select summer, it means that now I can set up a different cost for our hotel standard room in summer. Okay, when we come over here to our pages, look into the standard room, we can only maximum take 1 adult. So we are going to come back here. Here I will say it's 1 adult, and the price per night in summer is going to be a little bit over this, or a little bit more than the first price over here. So it will be, let me say, $45. And then I'm going to enable variable pricing. If this person is coming with 1 kid in summer, him or 1 adult and 1 child, then the pricing is going to be a little bit slightly more than this. It's going to be $54 maybe. And if this person is coming 1 person and then they are coming with 2 children, they are going to pay a little bit slightly more than this over here, and let me say it's going to be $62. However, some hotels, for as long as the accommodation is offering to accommodate children with an adult, they are not going to charge a price for the kids. But for some hotels, of course, they may decide to charge a price for the person or for the kids that you're going to come with, because maybe they have to provide kind of a makeup bed and all that stuff. Once you are done adding your variable prices for the 2 different seasons of this specific room, which is a standard room, and for the standard rate, then you simply update. Now, the other thing you have to do is you have to position these prices for the website to determine, or for MotoPress to determine, which is your priority rating. In this case, our priority rating is summer, so we are going to drag this rating and drag it up. It means that now when someone is searching for our hotel during the summer season, the priority costs will be considered first before our system considers the all year round costs. So now I'm going to simply update this. I'm going to add over here SR for standard room, and I'm going to duplicate this price over here, and I'm going to edit this price, or edit this table, and I'm going to name this for the deluxe room. So I change this to DR, and I'll say standard rates for the deluxe room. So I simply update the rate. Once I update, I'll get this option here. Remember, we had already repositioned our ratings to be prioritizing the summer season and the other year season coming next. Now for this room, which is the deluxe room, you realize that it can take up to 2 adults and 4 kids, or 4 children. So for the ratings of the deluxe room should be obviously bigger or more than the ratings for the standard room. So in this case, let me put it at 59, that is per night, and I'm going to add another column. So over here, if they are going to be 2 adults and 4 kids for 1 night, we will charge them $59. And if they are 2 adults and 4 kids and they are going to spend 2 nights, we are going to charge them actually $69. But if they are going to spend more nights, you can of course define them over here. Then you can say 5 nights, 20 nights, or whatever you want. So I'll not go into those details. And down here, if it is 1 adult and 1 kid spending 1 night, we are going to charge them that amount. But if they are the same 1 adult and 1 child and they are spending 2 nights, we will actually charge this same amount still up there. But if they are 2 adults and maybe 2 kids or 1 kid, we will charge them of course the same amount. But down here, if they are spending 2 nights, then maybe we'll charge them something more. So I will charge them like $79. That is for the summer season. Now for the all year round season, every night we'll charge them $39 for as long as they are 2 adults and 4 children. Either more or less, doesn't matter. So I'll disable the variable pricing. So what I'm going to do is simply update. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a standard rate for another room, which is actually the twin room. So I'll duplicate this pricing and then I'll come over here, I'll edit this and I'll just simply change this to twin room and select the accommodation type to twin room, and I'll just describe this over here. And then I'll update. And of course we had already set the priority. We prioritize the summer season to the all year round season. And if there are 4 adults and 6 kids, they'll pay $89. That is per night. And it doesn't matter how many nights they're going to spend, they'll keep paying the same amount of money. And if they are 4 adults and maybe they just have 1 kid, we may give them a discount of like $4, so that will be $55. And if they are instead 2 adults and 2 kids, we may still just give them $55, or that's the price they'll be paying per night, kind of giving them a discount. But of course this would be too low, so I may just simply make it 85 and 85. You can add as many variations as you want depending on how you want to set it up. That is for the summer season, and for the all year round you can simply just set this up to be a price that you want. Since this is a twin room, we can charge this at all year round, so all year round should be cheaper compared to the summer season, so this will be $79 per night. So what I'm going to do is simply update. Now once I update, I'm going to come back here to my rates. Now you realize that all the rooms have rates. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a non-refundable rate. When you look at this booking page, you realize we have 2 ratings. We have the non-refundable and the standard rates. So what we want to create is a non-refundable rate, of which if someone uses the option for the non-refundable rate, they will not be refunded once they cancel their order, because actually the prices are going to be cheaper. So by coming back over here, our rates, we're going to add a new rate, and this is going to be non-refundable. So I select the accommodation, I'll say standard room, say non-refundable for standard room. You may switch up this text based on what you want, because it is one that appears on the checkout page. I'm going now to create this, create the room. So non-refundable SR, then I'll simply create a pricing. Now when we come back here to our ratings that we have already created, and we come to the standard room ratings, So I'll simply say edit. You realize that summer season per night pricing, we gave them, it was 45. Now in the non-refundable, we can make it 40. That is per night. And on the enabled variable pricing, we gave them all those options. But in this case, we are not going to give all the other options. We're just simply going to leave it at $40 per night in summer. Now for the other season, which is the all year round season, you realize that over here we gave them at 39 per night. So here we can say 35 per night. Okay, that is for the all year round season, regardless of when that person books. But if they book in summer, of course our booking system will prioritize the summer season rates. So what I'm going to do is simply update. I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to edit, and I'm going to change the room here to DR. Here I'll describe non-refundable for deluxe room. So I update, and then when I come back here to our ratings and we look into the standard rates for the deluxe room, you realize that per night we gave them starting at 59. So we are going to make this to be summer season. It started at 59. Let's give them this at 55. When you look at the all year round, we gave them, the night is starting at 39. So over here I'm going to make it 55. We'll make this 35. Well, let's leave it at 35. Okay, and I'll simply now update. But before, let me delete this simply to have that. Now I'm going to duplicate this so that we can create non-refundable rates for the twin room. So I'll just simply twin room non-refundable for twin room. I'll update. Of course, our seasons have already been prepared. Now when we come over here to our twin room standard rates, in summer it starts at 89 per night. So over here I'll just make it to be 85, and for the all year round here it is starting at 79, so I'll just make it 75. Okay, that is for the all year round. Now I'll simply update my page, and then when we come now to ratings, you realize that now we have all the ratings for our rooms and non-refundable rates for all the rooms and the standard rates for all the rooms. Now that we have finished creating our rooms, amenities, seasons, rates and services, now we can go over to our home page and other pages to customize them and also list our rooms so that someone is able to book them. Just now to show you over here on a single room, for example for the twin room, we have the featured image, we have the room description, the gallery, the details about the room, okay, the amenities, the view, and the price at which that room starts, and if it's available and which dates are actually available to book. Now these all in green show that the room is available to be booked, and if someone wants to reserve this room, they simply click over here on the calendar and they feed in the dates, and here they can add the number of adults, the number of kids that will be coming with, and then they can check for the availability. Now we are going to go in straight and see how we can customize this page, make it look a little bit more beautiful, just like this over here. Add some styling, and on the other hand also make up our home page to look something of this sort. Add the check availability widget and list our rooms on the home page, and even our services to be appearing on the home page, so that when our website visitors come to our website, they can easily be convinced and get started booking rooms on our hotel website. So now the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to come back here to pages, all pages. I'm going to go to our home page. I'll open it with Elementor. Before I do any other thing at the moment, I am going to first of all change this image over here to look just exactly like this one over here. So I'm going to come over here to this section. I'm going to come to style, and I'll delete this image, and I'll upload an image that I want to use. So I'll come here to upload, select files, and I'll look up for my image, which is this over here, and I'll insert the image into our canvas. I'll delete all this here in the section and this here. And now what I'm going to do is come here to the section, go to advanced. I simply want to make sure that it has no padding at the top. So it completely now has no padding, and I'm going to select this section, come back here to advanced, unlink this. I'm going to select the percentage icon, and then I'm going to come over here and I'll give it a 20 and negative. Now this will move my section over here into my header 20%. Now I'm going to update this section, and now with the Elementor full site editor I can simply edit my header right from here. So I'll simply double click here, and that will move me straight into the header section. And I'm going to come back here to the style, and I will come to the color, and I will clear the color. Now it will make my header to be transparent. Now what I'm going to do is to come here to my widget for the title, or for the site title, come to style, and I'm going to change this to white. The same I'm going to do for my menu items. Come here to the style option, and I'm going to change this to white. On hover it will basically sink down, but I want it to stay in white too, and active I want it to be in black. Okay, so when a page is active I want it to be in black completely. Now I'll simply update, and then I'll preview my page to see how it looks like. Okay, so we have our logo here, and then we have our menu right here. So next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase a little bit on the font weight of my menu. I'll come back here, select my menu, come to typography. The weight I'm going to increase it a little bit to around 600, something of that sort. I'll update. When I update, it will also update this side. Boom, now we have our menu items having a bigger font weight. Now this looks a little bit similar to what we are seeing right over here. Now what we are going to do is exit our header. We'll come back here to pages, and we'll open up our home page using Elementor. Now that we have our home page looking just like this, now we want to make sure that we add a section and this widget over here, which people can actually use to search our rooms. So how do we add such a widget? So we are going to come back here to pages, and we're going to come to plugins, and we will add a new plugin. We are going to come here and search for a plugin called MotoPress Elementor. This search brings up a plugin called Hotel Booking and Elementor Integration. MotoPress actually built a plugin that you can use to integrate MotoPress modules into your Elementor website. And this is the plugin over here. I'll simply install that plugin, and I'll activate the plugin. And that's all, nothing else I have to do. Now you realize we have two hotel booking plugins. One is the one we use to build up everything in our rooms, but now since we want to integrate everything we built up or everything we created using MotoPress into our Elementor website, then we had to integrate or install another plugin called Hotel Booking and Elementor Integration. When we come to our home page editor, we are going to simply reload this section. After reloading our page, we are going to scroll just down here, and we are going to add a new section, and we are going to come over here, and we are going to collapse all this and come to the section of MotoPress Hotel Booking, and we are going to use the search availability form. We are going to drag it over here. Boom. Now our search availability form will show up over here in this section, but we want it to be horizontal, not vertical. So to have it horizontal, you will have to add an extra piece of code in the CSS so that we have this basically showing up horizontally. And I'm going to leave that same piece of code right in the description box below so that you can easily copy it and have it on your Elementor website. And this is the code over here. I'll just copy it and I'll come here to the widget, come to the advanced section, and we'll come to custom CSS and we'll add the code over there, and boom, now we have our widget appearing horizontally on our home page. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of move this widget into our home page at the top, or move the whole section and give it some kind of a gradient. So I'm going to just come here, select the whole widget, come here to advanced, and I'm going to come right here and select the percentage option, unlink these fields, and I'm going to come and give it like a 5 negative. So after giving this section -5%, that means we have moved it slightly into the first section at the top. We are going to give it a color, and in this case we're going to give it a gradient, and the gradient we are going to give it is going to be moving from white, and it will move to white. And the first white, we are going to make it a little bit transparent. So by sliding this over here, we will make it transparent, and then we are going to change the location for the second color, which is down below here. See how that looks like now, so that it easily fades into the other one. So I'm going to go back to the advanced section. I'm going to move it a little bit more up. Okay, and let's now update and we preview how this looks like. Okay, now this looks pretty fine over here. Now what you're going to do is we want that the height over here is reduced a little bit, so that when someone opens up our hotel website, automatically they will see the search widget appear right here below before they even scroll. So we're going to come back here to our Elementor website or our home page and select the navigator, come select the first section, and we're going to come to the layout. We're going to give it a minimum height, and this minimum height is going to be a little bit, you know, shorter, something of like 590 pixels or even less. So let me update this and let's preview how this looks like. Okay, now we have it. Homepage, the title, the navigation, and the search widget over here for rooms of which people would want to book on our website. Now, when you look on our other previous homepage, this is how it looks like. We have that. We have the widget here, and then we have our room listings down below here. So how do we do that? I'm going to come back here to our Elementor website, and I'm going to just simply come and delete this section, which is here. Let me grab the navigator. So the navigator helps me in areas whereby I can't select a specific section. For example, if I want to select this section here, it is now behind the header, so I'm unable to make changes to it without a navigator. So I simply select that section using a navigator, and then I can make changes to that section. Okay, so when I come back here, I'm going to select this third section and I'm going to delete that section. And now we have this other section. This is a section that comes together with columns that were representing rooms from the template that we imported. But we don't want to use the same design and layout. We're going to simply create our own layout. So I'm going to delete this column, and I'm going to delete everything that is within this column here. So once I'm done deleting whatever is right in this section, I'm going to simply duplicate this column, and then I'll also duplicate another column. And that means I'll have 3 columns over here. Let me just remove what we don't need at the moment. Now I'm going to come back here to our widgets and come under here to the MotoPress hotel booking. Then we have something called accommodation types, and then also we have single accommodations. So when I drag over here my accommodation types, it means that it will give me the option to select a room to display over here. Now when you look over to our other homepage, you realize that we have our rooms listed just like this. Featured image, title of the room, the exact text appearing over here, the price, and the view buttons. The same I'm going to do over here. So I will select this widget. I will leave the title to stay. This is the name of the room. I'll leave the featured image to appear. I'll disable the gallery, and then I'll enable the exact text to appear, and then the details I'll disable. The details includes everything here. Okay, so I'm simply going to come over here and disable that. Now you see we have disabled, and then the price will appear, and then the view button and the book button should all appear. Now this kind of widget, which is for the accommodation types, will list all the accommodations that are available in this column. But in this case, we want a single accommodation to appear. So how do we do that? We are going to simply just come and delete this and come back here and look for a single accommodation widget, which is this, and I'll drag it over here to my column. And then we have to add an ID to display that specific accommodation that we want to display in this column. So I'm going to come here to my dashboard. I'm going to come to accommodation, and then I'll select all accommodations. Now you see when you look at this accommodation, there's twin room and there's something called ID. This is the ID of the room. When you look at the deluxe room, there is something called ID, and the same over here. So I'm going to simply start by listing the deluxe room. So I'll start by pasting over here this ID for the single accommodation of the deluxe room, and then I'll simply select what I want. I'll leave the title to appear. I'll leave the featured image to appear. I'll disable the gallery. I'll leave the excerpt text to appear. I'll simply disable the details from appearing. I'll leave the price, the view button, and the book button. This is now what we have. I'm simply going to duplicate this widget and drag it to the other side. And what I'm going to do is simply just come back here to our accommodations, and then I copy another accommodation ID, which is 92. Come here to this other section, and then I'll paste our accommodation ID, which is 92. The same, I'm going to duplicate this, and then I'll add this single accommodation widget to the third column, and come back here and then get the twin room ID, which is 115. Come over here, select my accommodation widget, and then I paste my accommodation ID. I can do a little bit of padding for all my accommodations. For example, I can come here to the columns, I come to advanced, and I can enable padding for all these columns and say maybe a 1 for all over, top, bottom, and the same here. I have to select EM of padding. I'll simply say 1. Okay, then what I'm going to do is simply to update this section, and then you can preview. When I scroll down here, you realize that now we have our single accommodations listed right on our website. Maybe what I have not added is the view details button, which you can simply just come back here to your single rooms and select the accommodation, and you can decide to display the view button by simply saying yes, and boom, right down here it will display the view details option. Boom, there you go. The same we can do for all the other rooms. And then I would like to add an animation for this specific widget when the page loads. So now we have our single accommodations, but I want that when this page loads, this whole section will animate into, just like when you look at this page. Let me reload on my Hotel 94 website. You realize that it animates in. So let me come back here to our section. I'm going to select this whole section. I'm going to come to advanced. I'm going to go to motion effects, and I'm going to add an interest animation, and this is going to be a fade in right. Okay, and this should be a little bit fast, something of that sort. And I simply update. When I update, let's come here and preview our page. Okay, something of that sort. Now there is something we have now to fix before we continue. When you look at this header of ours, when I'm scrolling, it is actually a sticky header, and we don't want that. We want it to be a static header so that when we scroll, it is not sticky. To disable that, we are going to simply come back here to our accommodations, and we are going to go to our templates, and we open up our theme builder. We'll come and select our header and open it with Elementor. And under Elementor, we're going to select the whole section, and we're going to come here to advanced, and we'll come here to motion effects, and we will come down here to sticky, and instead of saying top, we are going to say none. Now that means that we will have disabled the sticky options for our header. Now when I come back here to our page, I'm going to preview again this page, which is our preview page. Now when I scroll down, you see that our header is no longer a sticky header, which is actually what we wanted to put into effect. So once we are done basically fixing our header, we are going now to close over this, and then we can come back here to our home page and we see if everything looks nice and neat. I think we can reduce a little bit on the space here to basically be a little bit uniform. So I'm going to come back here, I'm going to select this section, come to advanced, and then I'm going to reduce the padding for the top and bottom to, let me say something like at the top to be 50, and at the bottom we can leave it also to be 50. So we update, and that's it. That's how we could achieve to get our single accommodations to appear on the home page. Now the other thing we have to do is we can choose the layout for our home page, whether to be boxed or full width. So when you look over here, this widget is actually taking over the full width. When I select this section, I come to the layout, it is actually boxed but taking up a whole width. And down here, when I select this other section, you come to the layout, it is taking over 960 pixels. So we can do this using Elementor, or we can do it using the theme we are using. We can do it in Astra theme, or we can do it using Elementor. Let's do it for the home page using Elementor, and you see how that works like. So by selecting 160 for the content width to be boxed, the same I'm going to come and select this other section, which is this section. Of course, you can even rename these sections. Let me say search availability. Once you have that widget, you can rename it like I've said, and over here you can add how wide that widget should be. So in this case it will be 960, and that means it will be kind of in the same content width like the other widgets. You can do the same for all the other upcoming widgets down below. Okay, so I'm going to simply now update this, and also the same we have to do for our header so that everything looks to be intact and in line. Okay, so now when you look on our other home page, you see that we have now this widget, we have our single accommodations listed, and we have some of our featured services, and then the footer. So when we come back here to our home page that we are working on, we don't need any of these other sections. We're simply going to delete them and delete this too. I'll also delete this other section, delete the next section, and we will remain with this section. That's how you happen to see this section appearing right just here. Now this can be custom services that you can add to your WordPress website. For example, you have this service, and then you can add here, let me say ocean visit, or when you come here to your accommodations and look up for services, let me come to services, you can pick up the service, let me say sightseeing, and then you can simply come here and change over the background image, say sightseeing, and then come over here to the column, select an image, come over here, select your sightseeing image, and then insert the image, and boom. Then right here on this button, you can select the button, and then you can link up to the sightseeing service. So in this case, let me open this up in a new tab, and then copy the URL for the sightseeing service, and then come back here to our editor, and then we are going to simply either search for sightseeing, which is this over here, or you can simply just paste our URL that we copied from the address bar. The same we can do for this other service, which is right this other side. Let me go pick up a service, let me say massage. So simply just come, select the service, massage and spa, something of that sort, and then come here, select that column, come here to style, delete the image that is over there, replace it with the image that you want to use, and insert it over there. And the same you can do to link up to that service, so that when someone wants to read more about that service, you can simply just link up to that service, which is massage, and you're good to go. And what I'm going to simply do is come here, delete this other section. I'll update our home page. And now here we'll come and look at our preview. So our website starts from up here. We scroll down, we see the search availability widget, we see our single rooms or our accommodations, and then our services show up right here, and then we have our footer. And finally, we have created our homepage simply and easily. And of course, if someone wants to go and check out any of these services in details, you can simply just click here on Learn More, and automatically they are taken to the URL, which is just down below here on the lower left hand side. And of course, they'll be reading about that specific service, just like here, and they come over here to the service. Okay, now I come back to our home page. The other thing that we need to fix is, I think still our header is out of the range because we want it to be in the box of 960. So I'm going to come back here to our editor. I'm going to come straight to our templates, theme builder, and then I'll open up our header with Elementor. Let me look at the footer too and see how it looks like. Yeah, we should also put it into the 960 width. So select the whole header. Instead of having it full width, we can make it to be 960 boxed. I'll update this and I'll simply exit this section. And then I'll come back here to our theme builder, open up our footer with Elementor, and then I'll simply select the whole widget or the whole section for our footer. Instead of using full width, we'll use the boxed width, and we'll set it to be 960. I update, and now we can come back here to our home page and we can reload this. And there we go. See how that looks like. The header and the footer right here. But I think the header will look much more better when it is full width, and the footer when they are all full width. So if that doesn't look nice, you can simply just come back here, switch it back to full width, and I'll simply exit this. Come back here to our templates library. I'll open up my header. I'll simply just switch it back to be full width, and I'm good to go. So on reloading here on our home page, Hotel 99, you realize that yes, we have our header and our other sections, and of course we have our footer right down there. So we are now done creating our home page, and everything looks nice and neat. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to make changes to our theme, and then later we'll come and make changes or edits for our accommodations, services, and contact pages. So we simply go back to our dashboard, and we're going to come to theme, and we're going to come to appearance, customize. So in the customizer, we will have to come to the global section, and under global section, we're going to come to colors, base colors, and we're going to make changes to our theme colors. For example, for the buttons, just as you look at the home page over here, the buttons are having a different color on hover, and also the main color. So in the customizer, we're going to even change the theme color, and also the link color and the hover color. So I have already my color codes just here, my theme color, and then my link color. Then I can come back right here, go to the buttons. So the color for the buttons on normal, I'm going to make the text white, and then I'm going to make the background our orange or our brown, So I'll simply just enter in our color code over there, and on hover I want the text to be white, and the background I want it to be in our green, which is this over here. And there you go. So when I hover, the button changes to green, and that's all. Once we are done with that, we're going to simply come back here to global container, and we want to set our website to full width. But in the free version of Astra, we don't have a number of things like setting it to the full width, and also having like this scroll to top option, and on the other hand having custom paddings and inner padding and a lot more of other options. So in this case, I'm going to install Astra Pro, and Astra Pro will enable us to create single accommodations with a featured image that actually stretches right to the edges, just like this over here. Now, when you look here on our free version of Astra, you realize that our featured images are actually having some padding right here, but we want them stretched to the edges of the single post type. Now, when we come back here to our website, before we actually go to install Astra Pro, we're going to come back here, we're going to come to colors, base colors, and we're going to set a background color, and this is going to be a dark color, just like this. So this will be the overall background color, and also even for our single post types, for our accommodations, this will be the color which you see over right here. So I'm going to simply come back here, and I will update or publish, and then I'm going to exit this section. I'm going to come to plugins, I'm going to add a new plugin, and then I'm going to add the Astra Pro version. So I'll upload my Astra Pro. I also have to mention that if you don't have Astra Pro, you can also be able to create your hotel booking website and it will function well, but of course you won't have some features just like I have mentioned earlier on. So after installing your Astra Pro version, then we are going to click here on settings, and we're going to come over here to the available add-ons, and we're going to activate the add-ons that we want. We want to activate the colors and background. We want to activate the spacing. So these are actually options that Astra Pro gives you that enhances your free version of Astra. I'm also going to enable the site layouts. I'm also going to enable the Blog Pro option, and I will also enable the scroll to top option. So this means that you only activate the features that you want to be using in your website. Now, when I come back here to customize, and I come straight here to global, the container, now you realize we have the option for the full width, which is under site layout, which is that. And down here for the layout, we can select content boxed, and then for the page layout, we're going to leave it on default. Even the blog post layout, we'll leave it on default. Okay, so I'm going to publish this. Then I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to go to the scroll to top option. We want to enable our scroll to top option, which is this over here. So I'm going to come down here on the icon. I'm going to change the icon's color. For example, I'm going to make it white, and I will give it an orange or green background. Let me give it a green one. But on hover, I want the icon itself to be white, and then the background is going to be orange. So I'll just come get my orange color code, paste it over there, and then I publish. Now once I scroll, you see when I hover, it changes over right there. Now next, what we're going to do is come back here to our customizer. Still, we had already fixed the buttons, so we'll come to the header, primary header, and we're going to remove the header border size, and we'll just basically make it 0. Now this will disable the header border on single post types. Right here there was going to be a header, so now we have eliminated that. Then next, what we're going to do is simply come back, come here to the blog options, and come to the single post type. Now the single post types are basically going to represent our single accommodations, and we are going now to make the settings of this specific single accommodation. So we're going to come back to the customizer. We want to have the featured image coming first. Of course, we'll leave the content width on default, and then next we'll have the title and the blog meta. We want to leave the single post navigation on, which is what you see down here, whereby someone can go to the previous accommodation or the next accommodation. And then we want to remove the featured image padding, what I have already explained. For example, there is padding right here for the featured image, but when you look at our single accommodation, we have that our featured image doesn't have any padding. Now this option is only available in Astra Pro. You can make changes to your page title color, the typography and spacings for all those options, but I'm not going to do that at the moment. And then we come here to the options for the sidebar, and we are going to remove the default sidebar and we're going to make it no sidebar. Now when you look at our single accommodation, it has a sidebar here. Now once we disable the sidebars, our single accommodation will look something like this without anything to do with the sidebar. So we are going to come back here, we're going to come to the footer area and come to the footer bar, and we will disable the footer bar. So if we leave the footer bar on, our website on the single accommodations and other sections, they will have this kind of footer bar. But for our single accommodations, we don't want to have anything to do with a single or with a footer bar down there. So that's why we have to disable this option. So we disable the footer bar and we hit publish. So once you are done fixing your sidebar settings, now we are simply going to exit our customizer by clicking on the X icon, and we're going to come to our home page. See how this looks like. Now maybe you are like, something has changed. Yes, something has changed because we gave it a background color, and yet these sections were not given a background color in Elementor. So let's open our home page with Elementor. I come to our footer area. I'll simply come to the color for the background. I add the white color for our background. I update. I'm going to close this section, come back to our homepage still because I had not made changes to our homepage settings or the changes we made on our background section. I'll simply select this section again and come to style, and I'll give it a background color, and I'll simply update. Now when we preview our homepage, you see that now everything looks nice and neat, just like the way we want it to be. Our buttons are having this over there. Now when we open up our single accommodations, boom, do you see what I see? We have now a background color and our header is really visible, and then we have our accommodations right here, and then everything here looks really nice and neat, and the post navigation. Now what we're going to do is we're going to reduce on the width of our single post type or for our blog post layout, so that we reduce it a little bit just to look something like this. Okay, so what we're going to do is come back here to our dashboard. We're going to come to appearance, customize, and we will head straight to our global options, come to container, and for the width we're going to change this to 960, and we will publish. Once we publish, we are going to come now to our single post type, which is the deluxe room, and we will refresh, and boom, we have a single post type or a single blog post without a sidebar, and we have our featured image without any featured image padding. We have our title here, the description of the room. When someone clicks over here, they can see images in the lightbox, and they can see all the details about the room. They can see which days the room is actually available. They can now actually also use the calendar over here to book this room. They can also navigate to the next post, which is this one here for the accommodation. And if they want to go to the previous one, they simply just go back and go back. So when now you look on our finished website, you see that our titles are having a different color, or our headings actually having a different color. So how do we do this? We're going to come back here to our customizer. We're going to exit the container, come to colors, content colors, and you're going to come here. There's something called heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, but I don't want us to do changes here on every heading. We are simply just going to come back here, come to base colors, and make sure that you're going to make changes to all the headings at once. So we want all our headings to have our orange color or whatever, brown. So I will add that color, then I'll publish. Once I publish that, I'm going to come back to our single post type or our single accommodation. I'll reload this. And now when we come back here, you realize that now our headings or titles have changed on our single post type. So next, what we are going to do is we are going to create our accommodations page. Now, when you come over here and look into our accommodations, we have this kind of hero section. We have a list of all our accommodations. Okay, so when we come back here to our website, we're going to exit the customizer and we'll come to pages, all pages. You see, by default, we have an accommodations page that was imported when we imported instant pages after installing MotoPress. But in this case, I'm going to show you how we can create ours from scratch. So I'm going to delete this by moving it to the trash. And I'm going to add a new one. And I'm going to name this accommodations. I'll publish. And then I'll open with Elementor. Okay, cool. Now we have our accommodations page created. What we are going to do now is we're going to go to our pages and we're going to open up our home page. What we want from our home page is this hero section. We want it to be the same all over our website. So we are going to open that page and I'm going to select that section, which is the one on top. Then I'll copy that section. I'll come to my page in Elementor, then I'll paste the section. You see, now we have our hero section right there. What we're going to do now is select that section and we're going to make it to be full width. So we are going to come here to columns and we're going to say no gap. So that means that our section will not have any gaps at the edges. Okay, now that is done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change the background image of this section. I'll simply navigate to that specific section that has the background image. And I'll come here to the style and I'll come over here, delete the image that is there. And then I'll look up for a nice image that can work for us up there. So maybe this one for the accommodations. Okay, this looks fine. And then I'll simply now update, then I'll preview. Okay, this looks fine. We could have also used the same image, just like what we had used over here, but that's not what we are going to do now. We can also add a text that appears right here at the start of this section. So we can simply just come back here to our layout, or we simply come to widgets, and then we can simply drag a title widget, and then we can say accommodations, and we can center this. And when you look over here, we used a specific font face for our accommodations. We'll come to style, come to typography, and we'll change the font face to Playfair display, and we can increase on the font size, and we can give it a color of white, something of that sort. And you can decide how you want it to look like. You can give it a different kind of style, for example, maybe italics, or depending on what you want. You can add some underlining, overline, line through, or the strike through, but I don't want anything of that sort. So I'll just come back to accommodations and add my S. So we have it. And then I can choose to leave it just as it is by updating, and we can preview. Cool, looks fine. Maybe we can also move it a little bit down. So by selecting that specific widget, we come to advanced, and we can unlink this section, come to EM, and we give it a 13. And let's see how this is going to look like on the tablet. Tablet will look fine. Mobile, we can change the font size on the mobile. by coming back to style on the mobile, and we reduce a little bit the size. And also we can change the minimum height of this section. So we can choose like the minimum height on the mobile will just be something like 300, but also we want to move this section on mobile a little bit up, the margins actually. So we unlink this and we will move it into our header. And then later when we look into the mobile version, here it looks fine, but we need to also reduce on the minimum height. So minimum height on the tablet, something of that sort. And then on a desktop, minimum height looks fine. And that's it. So by simply updating, let's have a look at how this looks like. Boom, we have our accommodations right here. We can add maybe a small drop shadow so that it stands out. So we come here, select our heading, come to style, and we're going to add a text shadow, something of that sort. We can increase on the color, opacity, and then we can also make changes to the direction. You can reduce the blur, something of that sort. And we are done. Now when you look at our preview, it looks nice and neat. Now we are going to build up the other sections. Of course, these are going to be our rooms or accommodations. So I can simply just come down here, add a new section. And of course, this section is going to be for single accommodations. So what I'm going to do is come over here to the widgets area, collapse all these, because now we're only interested in a MotoPress accommodations. So we are going to come over here and we'll add single accommodations, but I'm going to add 2 columns for the start. I'm going to say add a new column, and then I'll come get my single accommodation. Then I'll actually specify the ID of that accommodation. So let me come here to my accommodations. I'll select the ID of the accommodation I want to display first. I want the standard room, which is 92. So we have the accommodation for standard room. I'm going to give this a background color, and this is obviously going to be white. Now on this side, I'm going to display the featured image and the gallery, and on the other hand, I will display all the other details. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this. I'm going to move the copy the other side, and I'm going to select the first column widget. I will disable the title. I'll leave the featured image and the gallery. I'll disable the excerpt, disable the details, pricing, I'll disable the view buttons, I'll disable, and the book buttons I'll also disable. So we have just something of this sort. And on the other hand, we are going to come right here and select the other widget in the other column, and we will disable the title, disable the featured image, disable the gallery, and then we'll leave the exact text. We'll leave the details, we'll leave the pricing, we'll leave the view button on, and the book button. And what I'm going to do again, I'm going to add here a title for this room because I disabled the title on both the widgets. So I'll come over here and search for a basic or a title widget, and I'll add here the name of the room, which is standard room. I'll give it a style, so I'll just simply say this is going to be having our orange color. Paste there the color code, and the typography, I'm going to give this our Montezrot font, and we're going to give this room a padding all over. So we're going to come to advanced by selecting the whole section, and we're going to give it an EM of 2 at the top, unlink 4 in the right, 2 at the bottom, and 4 in the left. And now let's preview how this room looks like. Okay, so we have our standard accommodation. I actually think I can move the heading widget to the other column. Okay, and let me see what other change we can do. We can remove the top margin. So I'm going to select this widget. Let me look at no top margin. I think it's on the first section, which is up here. Basically going to select our section now, and we will move it a little bit up. So we'll come over here, unlink the margins, and we will just move it a little bit up to cover up. Okay, so I'm going to update this. We still have the black background over here, but now our title has moved on the other section or on the other side. I think we can remove the book button so that we only leave the view details, and all the other looks fine. So we come back here, come to this other widget, and we'll remove the book button. I'll simply update. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Now let me add all the other rooms, and later on we'll come and fix this section. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to add another accommodation, but this case we are going to have a 1-column accommodation. So I'm going to delete this. So I delete that column, and over here I'll select the accommodation I want to display. So let me come back here. I'm going to display the deluxe accommodation, so 106. So come over here, enter 106, and I'll disable the title. I'll leave the featured image, gallery, yes, excerpt, yes, details, yes, the pricing, yes, view button will be yes, and the book button will be no. And I'm going to simply copy my title here, and I come down here, I paste my title. Of course, it's going to go down below. So I'm simply going to drag it over here in the navigator, and it comes right here. I'll change the room name, and I update. Okay, this looks fine. I'm going to actually make all these sections to be a little bit boxed. So I'm going to come here to this section, and I'm going to select the layout, boxed 960. This is the very first one, which is okay. Okay, so let me preview this. Update. Okay, yeah, this looks a little bit more neat. Nice. Now we are going to add the last accommodation. So I'm going to duplicate the first section, duplicate this, and I'm going to move it down. And that means we'll have our standard room again down here. We're going to select the title, change it to twin room, and we're going to change the ID for everything here. So we come here to our accommodations. Twin room is 115. So select this widget, make it 115, and select the other widget, make it also 115. Okay, I'll update. And then we preview our page for the accommodations. Okay, looks nice and neat, and our footer shows up over there. Now when you come back here to our other page and you look at our accommodations, we had the first hero section, we had our first accommodation, second accommodation, and the very last accommodations. We also had this section. So this section is basically a section that I made up, and it's basically summarizing all the amenities the hotel offers. Okay, you can add it to your hotel section, but at the same time, these amenities are listed on each and every hotel room right there. So what we are now going to do is we are going to come back up here. When you look at our menu, you see that our accommodations page is not listed. This is because we deleted the default accommodations page and we created a new one. Now what you need to do is to go back to the menu and add our new accommodations page. So I'm going to simply come back here to our Elementor website, get back to the dashboard. I'm going to come to appearance, menus, and I am going to look up for the new accommodations, which is this over here. I'll add it to the menu, and I will delete the other accommodations that was there. I'll now reposition this, and then I save my menu. When I come back here to my web page, I'm going to simply reload this page or open up the home page, and you see that now we have our accommodations listed. When I click on accommodations, it will take me straight to the accommodations page right here. Okay, so everything looks nice and neat. Now what we are now going to do is, now when we view one of the accommodations, for example the standard room, automatically it should take you to this single post type for the standard room. Now for example, if I want to book this room for 2 days, let me say from the 13th to the 15th, I'm one adult, and I check for the availability, it takes me to this page over here, which is a search results page. But now what we need to do is, I want us to customize our search results page, and I want it to look something like this. So when you come over here and say book room, this is our old website, and we basically enter in any dates and say check availability. It is going to take us to a search results page that looks like this one. We created this with Elementor, and of course it's having a custom layout. And if you compare this to this other one, of course the other one looks way better. So how do we do that? So we're going to come back here to our dashboard. We're going to come to pages, all pages, and we're going to look up for our search results page, which is this over here. We'll edit it, and we'll edit it with Elementor. So I'll say edit with Elementor. We are going to come here to the settings option, and we're going to choose the Elementor full width. Okay, now next what we're going to do is, we are going to come here to our accommodations page. I'm going to open our accommodations page with Elementor. I'm going to come here to the first section, and I will copy this section, copy, and I'll come to our search results page in Elementor, and I will paste that section like this. Okay, now that means that I have that section on our search results page, and I'm going to come right over here. I'll delete what I don't need at the moment, and I'm going to select this section. I'll come over here, select the title of that section, and I'll add search results. Then I can also come here and go to the background and change that background, and we can use any other background that we want, maybe this one here. Now what we're going to do is update, and then we preview. Okay, now we have this preview. Now next what we're going to do is, we want that this section is actually full width. So what we're going to do is going to come here, select that section, and we are going to come here under layout, and we can say stretch section. We update. So now we have our section stretched, and there we go. So we are going now to add other sections, and of course this is going to be the search results. So I'm going to come over here, add a new section, a full width section. I'm going to come here to the widgets. I go to the MotoPress widgets and look up for the search results widget. I drag it over there. I'm going to give it a background, which is this section. Let it be full width, but I want it to be having a white background. And I will also have to stretch this section. So after stretching that section, I'm simply going to update this, and then we can preview. Okay, now we have our search results show up over here. You see, and now this is actually also basing on the last query that I did in my search query. Now I'm going to actually add some padding to this section. So what I'll do, I'll simply leave the content width to be boxed, and I'll leave the section to be stretched. When I look at what it looks like at the moment, this is what I have. I can add some more padding at the top over here, and also a little bit in the sides. I'm going to select the search results widget, come to advanced padding, I'll select EM, and I'll add some padding at the top. Everything I need 4 at the top and 4 at the bottom. So once we are done making our changes to our padding sections, you can literally adjust to the settings that you want. Now when I come over here to our live search results page, I'm going to reload this page, and boom, now you see that it has changed. And I can reserve a recommended room, or I can simply look up for other rooms down below here and their details, and another room down here, and another room down below here. If I want to reserve this, now I can simply say reserve room. Now this should take me to a booking form just like this. Now you can also create this booking form using Elementor, just like I have shown you on the other sections, by simply coming over here to the widgets, come here and search for that specific widget, and then you select the booking form and add it to the page, and you are good to go. In this case, I'm going to use this default layout for the single post type that I created, and see you in the next section as we look into how we can manage and make our bookings. So we will now go to our home page, and we are going to check in, or we are going to check for availability of a room. And I am one adult, I have no kids, and I'll search for a room. Okay, here comes a room. There are actually 3 recommended rooms from 15th to 18th of April. The very number 1 recommended room is the standard room. I can actually view the standard room, which is this over here, and all the details. And actually here they list for you the days that it's actually available. If any of these days that this room is booked, automatically it will grey out all these dates. So if I feel this room is fine, or it's the one that maybe I would like to book, I can simply just come back here to my search results pages, and I can say reserve. And right here is the booking confirmation. I have the booking details. I'll check in on this date, and I'll check out on this date, and this is the time. Remember, this time we set it up in the settings of the MotoPress booking plugin of the check-in and check-out time. And the booking accommodation number 1, which is recommended, is the standard room, and I'm simply one adult, I have no kids, and I can enter in my guest name, like my name is Kwema, and to choose the rate, I can choose either to use the standard rate, and this is going to be the amount. But if I choose to use the non-refundable rate, whereby the hotel will not refund me once I choose to cancel my order, then actually I'll be saving some money. But in the long run, if I cancel, then I'll be losing a lot of money. So it depends on what you want. I can choose some additional services, like for example, the game drive, massage, or any of this. So, and down here, in case I have a coupon code, which I'm going to show you later on how to create coupon codes, I can simply feed it in here and then I apply it. That means I'll have kind of a price breakdown. And down below here, they summarize for you the charges that you'll actually be facing. For example, I'm one adult, there's no kid, and I'm going to spend only 3 nights. And on the 15th, I'll pay this amount, 16th that amount, 17th that amount, subtotal. And the services I'm booking with this room, they're going to be the game drive, which is $40 per day, and I'm going to spend there 3 nights, and then I'm one adult, and it's the amount of money I'll be paying for that service. If everything is okay right here, I can just simply come over here, and then I enter in my information and my country of residence, and I can add here some notes. For example, do you have makeup beds in case I come with a baby? Just a question. And here there is a notification that actually to book this room you must have accepted the terms and conditions. And remember that we had created already our terms and conditions page. So I'll simply just check and say I've read and accepted. So I'll simply just say book. Now it will bring me to this page, or the booking confirmation page, and it will say your details of your reservation have been sent to you in a confirmation email. Please check your inbox and complete the booking. Now this means that actually someone has to complete the booking after receiving a confirmation email, but we can make it that before they actually receive this confirmation message, they have to pay. I'll show you later on in this tutorial on how to actually integrate your hotel with payment processors or payment gateways like PayPal, Stripe, and a lot more others. Or in case you want to receive payments in cash, that means that you will allow your website visitors to deliver the cash at your hotel. Now when we come back here to our dashboard and come to bookings, all bookings, you realize that we have one booking, and this booking is actually pending user confirmation. It will expire in 19 minutes. That means if the user has not yet confirmed their booking in 19 minutes, that means it will expire. The check-in date is this date, and the checkout date is this date, so they'll actually spend 9 nights. It's one guest, and the customer info is over right here. The total price is here. Now when I click on edit the booking, it will deliver me all the booking details, the booking ID, check-in date and checkout date, and the room I'm actually reserving, and other services I'm booking with the room, and all the customer information is fading over here, and also the customer note that I added when I was checking out. And that's it. So in case you want to confirm this booking, you can simply say confirm, or in case you want to say the user abandoned, you can simply add an update over right here, or you can say pending admin confirmation or pending payment. So in this case, it is actually pending payment. When I update over right here and I say update booking, automatically it will be updated right in our system. And when I come over here to the booking calendar, it will actually show that someone is booking our standard room from the 15th to the 18th. And this is the booking ID right here. So in case someone books, that means that this will change over to the green color, and that means no one else can actually book this room. But for now, it is pending the payment. You can also view the calendar of an accommodation type based on its name. For example, standard room, deluxe room, or twin room. You can show a calendar by month basis, quarter basis, yearly basis, or you can even set a custom search query. And right here, you can show all the status of the bookings that you have received in your hotel, whether the status of the room is free, booked, or pending the client confirmation. In this video, we are going to create and manage our services page. So when you look over here on our dummy website, you realize that we have our services listed just like this. So how can we do this on our website? We're going to come back to the dashboard. We're going to go to pages, all pages. First, I'm going to open up the accommodations page, and then I'll go to the services page, which is down here, edit it, and I'm going to open it up with Elementor. I'm going to come here to settings, go to the page layout. I'm going to choose the Elementor full width. Then I'm going to come right here to our accommodations page, which I opened up in Elementor. I'm going to come here and copy the first section. I'm going to come right here to our services page, and then I'll paste the section that I copied. I'm going to come, select one, the title of this page, and then I'll just name this Extreme Services. Okay, I can make changes to the background or change the image of the background of our services by choosing an image to use. Come here, upload an image. So I'll just choose a random image to use, and I add it over there. Okay, and right here, I can just come back here to our accommodation still and just copy this whole widget. Copy, come back to our services, and then I'll paste that widget. So paste, and boom, we have that section brought in over here. But in this case, we want to use the services widgets, not the single accommodations. So I'm going to come here to our widgets and come right here to MotoPress and look up for the services widgets. I'm going to simply paste over there the service widget. And here I can specify, or I can basically identify the service by its ID. So I'm going to come here to our hotel, come to the dashboard. I'll head straight to the accommodations, come to services, and then I'll see the services. This is the service. When I hover over the service, look down at the bottom left-hand corner, you see that there is post equal to 90. That is the ID of the post. The same over here on massage. Post equal to 88, post equal to 86, post equal to 84. So I simply come back here, and then I'm going to change this. I only want to show post 88. Okay, now that is massage. I'm going to delete the other widget below, and I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to move it to the other column, and I'll delete the other widgets that are there. So this and that, and I'll just name this 84. Okay, and when you look over here on our services template, it is 3 columns. So I can just simply duplicate this and I make them 3 columns, and I make this to be 90, or in case you simply want to make them 2 columns, well and good, you can do that also. So now I've listed my services right here, and I can now simply hit update. And once you update, I'm going to preview this page. So now I have my massage, sightseeing, game drive. You can add more other services down below here. I only added 3 just to show you an idea on how you can create your services page. Now, this is the one before and this is the one after what we just created. Okay, so that's how you can actually create your services page. What I'm going to do is simply come back over here. I make sure that it's updated. I'll exit to the dashboard and I'll just come over here and reload my default page. And boom, we have finished creating our services page. See over here, it's on selected, and we have our services over here. When someone wants to read about that service, they simply click on that service and it opens up in a single post type, and you can read about it right over here. Of course, you can't book single services, you have to book them along with the rooms. This is the other service, and the other service too over there. In this section of our hotel booking tutorial, we are going to create a contact form. Now, when you look here on our website, you see that our contact page is basically blank. So how are we able to create or add a contact form just like this one over here? So we're simply going to go back to our dashboard. We're going to go to pages, and first I'm going to open up our accommodations page, and then I'll also open up my contact page. I'll edit my contact page with Elementor. I'm going to come here to the settings with the gear icon, go to page layout. I'm going to switch this to Elementor full width. I'm going to come here to our accommodations template that we already opened up with Elementor. I'll come to the navigator and I'll copy this section, come to the contact page, I'll paste the section over here. I'm going to come here to the section, come to the style, and I'm going to delete this image. I'll use another image for our contact header. Let me just use this same image, and I'll rename our heading over here to Contact Us. Okay, now next what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another section down below here. I'll just come over here, copy this other section. I'll come over here to our contact page, paste the section. I'm going to come right here to my widgets. I'll search for a form called the contact form, which is this over here from Elementor. I'll drag it over here, and then I'm going to delete everything over here in this column. I can come to this side of the column and I can add any other details concerning our contact form or our company. I can just rename the title here to location, and down below here I'm going to add a text widget, which is a text editor. Add it over there. I'll delete this room, and I can just simply add our location info or even contact info, phone numbers. I can style up my text over here to appear in black color or black text. I can change the font style or even the font weight by going to typography. Come here to font style, normal, and font weight. Can give it like 700, but I think 400 is okay. And when I come here to my form, I select the form. And if you really want to see how to customize this form using Elementor, I have a separate tutorial on that. I'm going to link it down in the description box below. But in this case, I'm simply going to show you how to configure it. You're simply going to say this is the contact form, hotel 99 form, and you basically want to get the name of the person, email, and the subject or the message that they want to send to you. You can add another field over here and you can choose the field type. Maybe you want to pick up their website, or you basically want to allow them upload the file, or you want to add a reCAPTCHA to basically stop spam on your website, or you can even simply collect their telephone number, phone, and you can make it to be either 50% or make it 100% of the width. You can change the location of this field and maybe move it up. You can make it required so that someone has to fill it in, just like this field for the message. I want to make it required, and for the email I also want to leave it required, and of course even for the name. And submit button, you can change this to submit. And of course you can use an icon in case you want to display an icon over there. I have all this in another separate tutorial. And then actions under submit, you can say you want to receive an email, and that email is going to be sent to your hotel email. So this can be your Gmail, it can be the admin email, or whoever is concerned on receiving any emails from the hotel website. And the subject of all emails that will be sent using this form will be new message from hotel 99. And the fields over here, and this is a message box. And of course, the from email is the email that your website is going to be using as a standard email from which it's sending. The form name is this, and the reply to email. This is the email that once you receive the email in your inbox, when you want to reply to that email, this is the email you'll be replying to, and it should be the email field, which is this one here, because you want to reply to the client themselves. You can CC the email to another person, and the metadata represents what is going to appear in your inbox as the date this form was filled, the time, the page URL the person used to fill in the form, the user agent, remote IP of the client, and the credit. The credit, this is going to be an Elementor form, and you want this email to be sent either as a plain text or an HTML. I prefer to use plain text, and in case you want to add any other additional messages like custom messages, you can set them right down below there. And for now, we are done setting up our contact form. I'll simply just come back here to the forms, and I will just reposition my font field just to be slightly up, and then I'll update. Let me preview our contact page now. Okay, this is how it looks like. Maybe I can add some padding in this other column. EM top, I can make top 2, and right I can make 2, and left I can make 2. I update, I preview. Okay, now this looks a little bit way better. So that's how you can simply add a contact form on your hotel booking website. Now once we go directly to our contact page, of course now we are directly on the contact page, and this is how everything looks like. Someone can simply just come over here and send you an email. If you want to style up the submit button on hover, you simply come back here, select your form, come to style, and you're going to look up for the button field, and you're going to say normal. It's going to be green, or you can simply change to our colors, which is our brown over here. Background color will be this color code on normal, and text will be white, and on hover it should change to our green. I'll copy the code. Background on hover, it will be green. So you see how that now looks like, and I'll simply update. When I go to my contact page, boom, now you see how this looks like. Now in a nutshell, that's how you can create a hotel booking website using Elementor and MotoPress, and everything will be looking just smooth like this. You've added your services on the home page, listed your accommodations. You've created an accommodations page whereby all your accommodations are shown up, and someone can easily read through. They can navigate through the images right here, and if they want to look at that specific accommodation, they can simply just click over right here on the accommodations thumbnail, and they are taken to the single accommodations, they can see the nights this room is available, and they can use the check-in availability widget over here to check for the availability of the room and also book the room. I've also shown you how to add services or to create the services page where you list all your services, and at the same time how to create a contact form using Elementor. So in the next couple of video series, I'm going to show you how to integrate this hotel website with WooCommerce, how to accept all files for download, how to customize your checkout page, how to sync your hotel website with other online travel agencies, and also how to use shortcodes of MotoPress, which is down below here, with your hotel website on other pages that are not either Elementor, or in case you choose not to use Elementor, I'll show you how to go around that. So in case you have any questions or comments about this tutorial, please let me know about that. Or in case you want me to create a specific video about a specific section for this video, please also let me know about that. Otherwise, I wish you the very best when you're creating your first hotel booking website, and I can't wait to hear from you in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you the very best. Goodbye.